Hello everybody, welcome to the Ultimate Scouting Show. Thank you guys for joining me. Today we have our Week 10 Power Rankings. Let's hop right into these things. At number 32, we have the Houston Texans. They do not move out of this spot. They lose on Thursday Night Football to the Eagles. They did a good job keeping it close throughout the majority of this game, but obviously at the end of the day, the talent level just wasn't there. They're just waiting to get their franchise quarterback, it seems. So the Texans are going to remain in that spot there. At number 31, we have the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers got absolutely blown out by the Cincinnati Bengals this week, and they just didn't look good in any phase. Their defense was not good against the run, against the pass. Offensively, they had one first down in the entire first half, and that was due to a penalty. It was just a terrible week for the Panthers. They looked much like their usual selves. They're just lacking talent, and they're going to get a very high pick in this draft. At number 30, we have the Detroit Lions. They picked up a big win over the Green Bay Packers this week. The Lions played hard defensively. They came through in some really important situations. They forced 3 red zone turnovers for the Packers, but I am glad that they're learning how to win under Dan Campbell, and that was a good boost for team morale for the Lions there. At number 29, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were off this week, nothing really to report there. At number 28, we have the Indianapolis Colts. They looked absolutely terrible this week. Sam Ehlinger was sacked 9 times by the Patriots. They had a pick 6 as well. They just couldn't get anything going offensively at all. And this team looks poised to finish the season in a very bad spot. But that's probably the goal by starting Sam Ehlinger. So hopefully they're able to get their quarterback of the future. At number 27, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. They blow a 17-0 lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was an absolute disaster of a game for the Raiders. They started hot and then everything fell apart. This team just can't be trusted at all to hold a lead, to win any games that you think that they should win. I was high on this team coming into the year. Not anymore. They are a bad team. They're not well coached. And I think this is Derek Carr's last year on the Raiders. At number 26, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars moving up 2 spots. They do come back against the Raiders. They go down early, but it is a good job to fight back. Travis Etienne had a good game. Lawrence played well. And I think that this defense they figured things out and just kind of locked them down in the second half there. So good team performance for the Jaguars, especially in that second half, and good fight coming back and winning that game. At number 25, we have the New Orleans Saints. They continue to lose, not in very good fashion this week. They lose to the Ravens on Monday Night Football. They just couldn't get anything offensively at all. I know they're missing a lot of their skill positions, no Michael Thomas, obviously, and the offensive line's beat up. You're starting Andy Dalton. I know the offense lacks some talent, but it's really bad right now, and this defense really hasn't shown up the way that they should this year. The NFC South is still pretty wide open, but I don't foresee the Saints coming back from this. They just have not looked like they deserve it. They're not a good team this year. At number 24, we have the Chicago Bears moving up 3 spots here. I know they lost, but this team consistently over the past 4 weeks has looked really improved offensively. Justin Fields is playing really, really well right now. He is creating with his legs. He's anticipating throws much better. He's taking care of the ball. And he is probably the fastest quarterback in the NFL besides Lamar Jackson. And I think that you could make a case he is the fastest. He's played really, really well. The defense is completely awful now that they've traded Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith, and they really don't have many pieces on that defense besides the secondary, but they have been a fun team to watch these past couple of weeks. They kept up with the high-powered Dolphins, so good week for the Bears. At number 23, we have the Denver Broncos. They were on a bye, nothing to report there. At number 22, we have the Washington Commanders moving up 2 spots. I know that they lost this game, but I thought that they were in it pretty well. They fought hard, and Taylor Heineke has made this team watchable, which is kind of a good sign. So definitely a good game for the Commanders, even if they weren't able to pull it off. The NFC East is really, really competitive, but they're not that far out of it. I mean, they're only 2 games behind both the Giants and the Cowboys. So interesting to watch if they can pull it together the second half of the year. At number 21, we have the Green Bay Packers moving down 1 spot here. Aaron Rodgers and this offense are just out of sync. I mean, there is no other way to put it. They cannot get anything going at all offensively. All of Rodgers' weapons are hurt now. Watson went out with another concussion. Romeo Doubs is out. And so you've pretty much got Alan Lazard and banged up Sammy Watkins, and that's it. It's a disaster and a half for the Packers. and their season is pretty much lost at this point. You lose to Detroit, and things are not going to be in a good place for the Packers here. At number 20, we have the Cleveland Browns. They were on a bye week, but they're just going to jump the Packers because the Packers looked terrible. At number 19, we have the Atlanta Falcons. They make this game pretty competitive with the Chargers. They had every chance to win this game and ultimately weren't able to pull through. But I think that the Falcons are certainly playing above their talent level. Arthur Smith has done a great job with that. I really do believe in this team and this coaching staff and what they could accomplish if they get a little bit more talent. So I'm excited to see who they take in this draft and really looking to elevate the talent level on this team. At number 18, we have the Arizona Cardinals. This team is really hard to rank right now because one week they'll look great offensively, one week they can't do anything. This week was a little bit more they can't do anything. This offense is broken. I mean, I don't need to go on another Cliff Kingsbury rant, but it's bad as far as the scheme goes and the coaching goes for Arizona. I don't understand how he has survived as long as he has, and he should be gone at the end of the season. I really think that just bringing in a competent coach would really unlock this offense. You've got some great pieces. Obviously, you could upgrade the offensive line, and the defense is still a mess, but they are not super far away talent-wise. They can beat most teams in the NFL, but they're just going to have way too many letdown weeks. At number 17, we have the LA Rams. This team is in a really bad spot right now. They're at 3-5, I believe, and this offense looks disgusting. I mean, they cannot move the ball. They can't run. They can't pass protect. Matt Stafford's missing open guys. It's basically Cooper Kupp. That's the only thing that's working for this Rams team. It's a disaster, and they're not looking like they're even going to make the playoffs. I'm very curious if McVay is going to continue coaching after this year. He just hates losing so much, and this year has been a really, really rough one. So I'll be interested to see what this Rams team does this offseason. At number 16, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers moving up 2 spots. Tom Brady with his classic vintage Tom Brady comeback. They were able to score with, I think, 9 seconds left in this game and able to seal the victory. You move back atop the NFC South. That's pretty sad, but, that's all you got to do. You got to get into the dance, and then Tom Brady will be Tom Brady and give you a chance. So the Buccaneers are poised to do that. The rest of the NFC South is an absolute train wreck, so I really do think the Buccaneers will make the playoffs and figure it out, but not a team I'm super excited about, but they have improved this week, and I think they're on the right path. At number 15, we have the New England Patriots. This defense was really stifling against the Colts. They were able to move the ball pretty effectively with Ramondre Stevenson. Mac Jones had a decent game again. So I really think that this offense is figuring out its identity, and this defense is a really solid unit. I think they're really well coached, and I think that this team isn't necessarily the most talented, especially in a really competitive AFC East. I mean, this is the lowest ranked AFC East team. They've kind of figured out their identity, and they're going to be a tough out, no doubt about it. Number 14, we have the Tennessee Titans dropping down 2 spots. I thought the Titans actually played really well, but there's just a lot of teams in this 14-8 tier that are really hard to rank because they lost this game and because I haven't been overly impressed with their passing game. I am going to put them at 14 here. It would be really nice if they had an A.J. Brown right now. Maybe you shouldn't have traded him away, but regardless, Malik Willis hasn't done much in his 2 starts here. You're hoping you can get Ryan Tannehill back and just kind of at least unlock that short and intermediate passing game that you've kind of missed even with Malik Willis. Derrick Henry's obviously a beast. They're running the ball effectively. The defense is playing out of their mind. They're really, really tough to play, but I just think that they are not a very explosive team. At number 13, we have the LA Chargers. I know they won, but I'm going to drop them down 2 spots here. I think the other 2 teams that jumped them, they're just much more deserving of their rankings. The Chargers have played all right this year, but I know they're dealing with tons of injuries, but they really just aren't a team that I find super inspiring and that I think are going to make a deep run. They're probably going to make the playoffs because the AFC West is just not as competitive as we thought it would be. And you have Justin Herbert and you have some nice players all around this team. So you probably will make the playoffs, but they're not really a team that's super exciting or that I really think are true Super Bowl contenders right now. At number 12, we have the New York Jets. They knock off the Buffalo Bills in really fun fashion here. I kind of was very nervous about this Jets team when Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker got hurt. And I'm still a little bit nervous for this offense moving forward. But this defense needs to get their props. They're a top 5 unit in the NFL probably right now. Their front seven is fun. Their corners are elite. It's been a great team to watch this year. I'm really excited about the future of the Jets. You've got to get that offense a little bit more explosive. You got to get Zach Wilson into the groove of things. But, when he's not actively destroying your game plan, there's a lot that can go right for the Jets. And this was a prime example of it this week against the Bills. At number 11, we have the New York Giants. They were on a bye this week, but I am going to drop them one spot because the Seattle Seahawks are at number 10. The Seahawks beat the Giants 2 weeks ago, and they had another really good performance against the Cardinals here. And the Seahawks are a legit contender at this point in the NFC because of how weak it is. At 6-3 and, well above the other teams in the NFC West, they have been a great story this year. They're getting the most out of their young players, and Pete Carroll, I think, deserves an apology from a lot of people, including myself. He has been awesome this year. I definitely think that he has found what it takes to get the most out of Geno Smith and this offense. They've just been so much fun to watch. Good for Seattle. They've been a really fun, exciting team this year. At number 9, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals had a really good bounce back week. Joe Mixon finally got going on the ground. They had over 200 rushing yards, I believe. And they really got things going on the ground and offensively. Joe Burrow didn't really have to do too much. They just kind of controlled the game from the very start. The defense played really well as well. So just a very good game for the Bengals. They got to be a lot more consistent, but this is a team that I really think could beat anyone in the NFL. They could also lose to anyone in the NFL, but they're going to be a competitor down the stretch, I think. At number 8, we have the San Francisco 49ers. They were not playing this week, but I still really believe in this defense, this coaching staff. I think they have some really nice pieces moving forward, and I really believe in them. At number 7, we have the Miami Dolphins. They played it close versus the Bears, but their offense was really rolling. I thought that they had some really nice plays in this game, especially offensively. You got to clean up some of those defensive mistakes, but I really do think that this Dolphins team is on a really good trajectory. Tua and Waddle and Hill are just so good together. I don't necessarily think that, Tua is the best quarterback, but he's a perfect quarterback for this offense. He's a really good system quarterback. And so this is a good team right now. They're going to be a tough out in this AFC playoff picture here. At number 6, we have the Baltimore Ravens. A good win versus the Saints on Monday Night Football. I don't think it was really unexpected by any means. They played well. They controlled the game. They kept the Saints offense off the field. You were able to just run the ball effectively. You're missing Bateman. You're missing Andrews in this game. They just did what they needed to do to get the win. Some good defense being played as well. So good game for the Ravens this week. We still have the Dallas Cowboys. They were on a bye week as well, so nothing really changing there for the Cowboys. At number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings. They are quietly 7-1. They've been so good offensively. You kind of have to fight it out really hard in this game against the Commanders, but you're able to get the win, and this offense is just rolling. I mean, Kevin O'Connell has done a great job getting the most out of this run game. You're able to run with 2 backs really well. You've got some great passing concepts as well with Thielen and Jefferson and KJ Osborne and, newly acquired TJ Hawkinson. I thought that they played really well in this game. Defensively, they're really figuring things out as well. This is a competitive team, and not a lot of people are talking about the Vikings, but they deserve their credit. They've been awesome this year. At number 3, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. They ran into a really tough Tennessee Titans team on Sunday Night Football. They kept it really close, but the Chiefs were able to prevail in overtime. I just think that Mahomes and this offense are just so consistently elite. And I know that they only had 17 points in this game. I know they had some really rough stretches, but when it really matters, they were able to come through, as they almost always do. They're just such a good team. I really like Juju Smith-Schuster in this offense. I think he has been a great addition. They've got some really nice pieces kind of all over this team. They're going to be a true competitor with Mahomes always. So, really good week for the Chiefs. You just got to get the win. Keep stacking those. At number 2, we have the Buffalo Bills moving down one spot. No longer the number 1 team. They have been the number 1 team the entire year for me, even going back to the preseason. I'm going to drop them to number 2 here. Obviously, I still think that they are Super Bowl favorites. This was a big loss to the Jets. You weren't really able to get the offense going much at all. The Jets defense is really, really tough, and they played them really tough this game. So this was a really good win for the Jets. Obviously, the news with Josh Allen potentially being injured, hopefully it's not serious. I would hate to see an MVP caliber player on, a team that should be a Super Bowl contender have their whole season derailed by a potentially serious injury to your quarterback. Hopefully that's not what it is. Nobody's really sure what it is at this point, so it'll kind of determine the outlook of the season. Obviously, if Josh Allen isn't playing the rest of this year, the Bills' outlook gets a lot less positive. But for right now, assuming that Josh Allen is going to be okay, this is the number 2 team in the NFL. They're still so good. Even though they will have bad games like this one, like the Dolphins game, I still think that they're so competitive in every contest. And then at number 1, we have the Philadelphia Eagles, the only undefeated team in the NFL. I gotta give them props. They have been so fun to watch. I know it wasn't necessarily the best week against the Texans on Thursday night, but they got the win. That's all that matters. Every team is going to play you tough, especially when you're the hunted like they are right now because they're undefeated. It probably won't last the whole year, but man, they don't have a lot of tough games on the schedule. Sure, some team's going to get them, but this Eagles team looks primed to definitely control their destiny in the NFC. That's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button while you're down there. That helps me out so much, pushes this video out to other NFL fans. I also have NFL draft content. I put out a recent mock draft. Go ahead and check that out. I will leave the link in the description. But thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks so much. Bye.